Trevor Matty, that's Jensen Huang, NVIDIA. Make the case for NVIDIA.
Yeah, NVIDIA, baby, the godfather of AI here. And we've seen mega cap stocks, especially NVIDIA, outperform. You were just talking about this share price move that we've seen up about 15%. We are nearing closer and closer to that $4 trillion market cap. And just a little context here, Brian, if NVIDIA hits those levels, that would be valued 36% higher than the entire British stock market. That's the FTSE 100, and just 18% below the total value of Japan's Nikkei 225. So that just goes to show the sheer enthusiasm around this company, around this stock. Of course, earnings, that's huge for this company. If we see any deterioration on that front when it comes to demand, along with the hyperscalers, if they hint at any sort of demand headwinds, Blackwell, obviously a big focus for a lot of those investors. If we see that, we could have a pullback in the stock. But so far, earnings have been relatively steady, moving to the upside. And I think that is the big next test for NVIDIA. But I'm bullish here, and I think that NVIDIA is going to continue to see a lot of those gains.
The secret to long-term stock market returns is typically long-term investing. However, a business's immediate dangers and opportunities might provide early hints about how the entire situation will unfold. Let's examine more closely how NVIDIA's performance may be impacted over the course of the upcoming year and beyond by rivalry in the artificial intelligence, AI, sector and a drive for sovereign AI. With an astounding 80% to 90% market share, NVIDIA is the industry leader in generative AI training and inference chips, a mix of ongoing innovation, support software, and a developer community that is used to the company's goods helps it retain its economic moat. However, there is only one direction to go once you reach the top: down. This is not to imply that NVIDIA's business is failing. On the contrary, it is not. As a result of the company's ongoing rollout of its new Blackwell-based AI processors, first quarter sales increased 69% year over year to $44.1 billion. But when compared to NVIDIA's 262% growth rate at this time last year, this represents a sharp slowdown. Some analysts may attribute NVIDIA's comparatively poor first quarter results to difficulties in China, where the Trump administration's policies essentially stopped the company from importing H20 chips, resulting in an impairment charge of $4.5 billion for excess inventory. But a bit closer to home, this might be the beginning of a longer-term trend. In the past, NVIDIA has been able to sell its hardware at gross margins that are close to 80%, which is typical of software firms that don't sell tangible goods. The largest customers of NVIDIA, many of whom are also industry leaders in technology, are encouraged to replace its products whenever feasible by these astronomical markups. OpenAI's efforts to diversify its supply chain have been especially vigorous. In order to operate and train its AI workloads independently of NVIDIA hardware, OpenAI started completing designs with Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing in February. Because custom chips can be more affordable for specific use cases than NVIDIA's one-size-fits-all solutions, they pose a significant challenge to the company's revenue model. Additionally, OpenAI anticipates having its new chips prepared for scale manufacturing by 2026. In-house chips are already produced by other significant customers like Alphabet and Amazon, and they are sold for client workloads in addition to NVIDIA hardware via Google Cloud and AWS, respectively. NVIDIA faces numerous short-term obstacles, but it also has opportunity. One of the most significant of these might be the idea of sovereign AI, which aims to assist nations in managing their own AI infrastructure, technology, and data without becoming overly dependent on foreign tech firms, mostly in the United States. This is significant for many nations since massive language models created elsewhere might not adequately represent their distinct linguistic, cultural, and political circumstances. As a pioneer in Europe, NVIDIA has so far been well embraced. With the assistance of local partners, it is assisting France, Italy, and the United Kingdom in the deployment of thousands of Blackwell systems. In the Middle East, NVIDIA is also making strides by collaborating with Humane, a Saudi partner, to construct what it refers to as AI factories utilizing its hardware. Given the size of these projects, the agreement with Humane might include 5,000 Blackwell chips. NVIDIA may be able to offset any potential drops in demand for its products in the private sector, but this is only the beginning of the narrative. Furthermore, it's uncertain if the idea of sovereign AI will catch on. Before contemplating a stock position, investors should most likely wait for more information. So, what implications does this have for NVIDIA's stock? Let's explore that. But first, a big thank you to those of you who've stuck with us this far. Creating these videos takes significant effort and dedication, so if you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts on NVIDIA stock in the comments. Your support truly helps us grow. Now, let's get back to the video. With a market valuation of over $3.9 trillion as of December 26, 2024, Apple is only 2% away from being the first corporation in history to reach $4 trillion. However, it failed to arrive. While NVIDIA and Microsoft just reached new all-time highs, Apple has recovered in recent weeks, but is still down significantly for the year. Here are several reasons why NVIDIA is probably going to be the first business to reach $4 trillion in market value, what both NVIDIA and Microsoft need to do to keep their prices increasing, and if it's time to buy either growth stock. NVIDIA's market capitalization has increased from billions to trillions in less than 3 years. As of the July 3rd market close, it is now the firm that is closest to $4 trillion, just over 3% away. Because NVIDIA is nearer the barrier and its price is more volatile, it is likely to surpass $4 trillion before Microsoft. NVIDIA is currently up more than 18% year-to-date, YTD, but during the worst of the sell-off caused by tariffs in early April, it was down almost 30% YTD. Therefore, it's not out of the question that the stock might rise a few percentage points to push its market capitalization beyond $4 trillion. What each firm needs to accomplish to support that valuation is more important than whether NVIDIA or Microsoft will reach a $4 trillion market cap. Earnings growth and investor sentiment are the two main factors influencing stock price appreciation. Investors will probably pay more for the company's shares if earnings are rising. However, investors can be prepared to pay a premium for a company if they anticipate that earnings growth would pick up speed. Because of their increasing profits and the willingness of investors to pay a premium for these firms in relation to their earnings, NVIDIA and Microsoft have performed exceptionally well in recent years. In just a few years, NVIDIA's yearly net income increased from less than $10 billion to an incredible $76.8 billion. Over the last 5 years, Microsoft's net income has doubled, and the company's stock price has more than doubled as well. Both NVIDIA and Microsoft need to show that their earnings growth is steady rather than sporadic if they want to remain attractive investments in the future. The sharp increase in big tech spending on artificial intelligence, AI, has been very advantageous to NVIDIA. NVIDIA dominates the market for powerful graphics processing units, GPUs, for data centers and related artificial intelligence, AI solutions for businesses. NVIDIA can charge top dollar for its AI products because of the strong demand and limited supply, which enables it to turn more than half of its revenues into pure profit. Additionally, NVIDIA is aware that its clients can afford to spend a lot of money on AI because they are some of the most well-off large corporations in the world, like Microsoft. That wouldn't be the case, though, if NVIDIA's margins are eroded by competition, or if there are difficulties for important NVIDIA clients due to a slowdown in the industry. Purchasing NVIDIA now is a wager that, despite a slow decline in its margins over time, the business can continue to increase its earnings. The good news is that NVIDIA can still be a wonderful investment without doubling its earnings annually. It may eventually lower its valuation and become a market-beating stock even if its earnings increase by, say, 25% annually. Here's how NVIDIA's price-to-earnings, PE ratio, would change from over 50 to under 35 in 5 years if the company's earnings increased by 25% annually and its stock price increased by 15% annually on average. Assuming that NVIDIA's earnings triple and its stock price roughly doubles over the next 5 years, the PE ratio decreases significantly. The main conclusion is that NVIDIA can still be a wise investment even if it doesn't continue to rise at a parabolic rate. However, if investors think an unanticipated danger will halt the firm's development trajectory, the stock could plunge sharply. When NVIDIA predicted it would face multi-billion-dollar tariff charges in April, we got a taste of it, and the stock price quickly plummeted. In conclusion, investors should only think about NVIDIA if they have faith in the company's capacity to change course as the market develops and in continued AI spending. For investors looking to buy a more diversified tech stock, Microsoft might be a better option. Because it isn't expanding as rapidly as NVIDIA, Microsoft has a lower PE ratio. But Microsoft also doesn't need many things to go perfectly in order to keep expanding gradually over time. AI accounts for the great majority of NVIDIA's revenue. Cloud computing, software, hardware, platforms like GitHub, LinkedIn, and Xbox, among other sectors, are all part of Microsoft's varied economic profile. Microsoft's earnings are growing and growing faster thanks to AI, but even if AI investment slows down and the market matures, the company can still perform very well. It's also important to note that Microsoft has increased its dividend for 15 years running and frequently buys back its stock. Compared to NVIDIA, which rewards shareholders by expanding the main business rather than by giving back capital directly, it has a more balanced capital return scheme. Microsoft and NVIDIA are outstanding businesses. It wouldn't be shocking if their respective market capitalizations surpassed $4 trillion and then continued to rise. Investors should be aware, though, that both businesses are under pressure to close the gap between expectations and reality, as their stock prices are rising more quickly than their earnings. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.
Grinding higher here. What do you make of it?
Yeah, look, investor appetite is there, right? AI enthusiasm has returned. We just talked about NVIDIA. I think there were some whispers today about, is this, signifying a bubble here? Is this .com 2.0 with NVIDIA being at almost record highs here? And if you look at what analysts are saying, and I know we're going to hear from one, that covers NVIDIA here soon, no one's saying that this is overvalued. I think many are actually saying that we're still undervalued here on NVIDIA because we haven't quite priced in AI and the impact on productivity. We heard from CEO of Salesforce today, Mark Benioff, saying that 30 to 50% of their workload is now done by AI. And we've seen a slew of companies cut, positions because of AI, whether it be Salesforce or CrowdStrike, Klarna, or Duolingo, who's actually going to be more discreet about hiring because of AI. So I don't think we've folded in the full impact. The one concern I have, and maybe it's not so much a concern, but what I'm watching is competition from Chinese AI companies. There was a great report in DataTrek Research earlier in the week that just showed the valuations are so much more appetizing on some of those Chinese AI names versus the US ones, and the returns have actually been higher for those names. So that's one area that I'm watching is the competition between us and those Chinese AI names.
Josh, Julie mentioned it briefly, but I just want to get double tap on it. The Mag 7 names, Josh, those giants, right? How have they been working?
Yeah, Josh. So I have a visual representation over here on our big board, right, of sort of some of what Julie was talking about. And what I'm looking at here is just performance since the April 8th low. Most of these stocks here are all in the top 20 of the S&P 500. They're all AI tied. So I looked at sort of an AI basket of stocks, right? You have Oracle, Broadcom, Dell, AMD, NRG, as Julie mentioned, Vistra, which is sort of an AI power play, and Palantir. What's interesting is all of the Mag 7 have underperformed them, right? So NVIDIA's up about 60% at a new high. Really, the rest of these companies have come up about 25, 30% maybe from the bottom. Apple hasn't really gone anywhere. And Christina, I guess the question